ritual. Feed Rocky dog. Rocky. Good boy. Then I have my coffee, black. And then we're going to make a shake up. I'm going to make that in a minute and then I'll show you. And then we're going to get down. We're going to go and do a full body weighted circuit today. So we're officially 5 weeks out. So we're going to start introducing these full body weighted circuits, and they are brutal, especially at 6:30 in the morning. Before I go and do my cardio or my full body weighted circuit, I do 1 scoop or 1 cap of L-carnitine. It's going to help obviously with fat burning and energy first thing in the morning. 2 scoops of BCA, which is around 10 grams. So this is obviously to protect my muscle, especially with me obviously hitting weights this morning. My super greens, which is to help with my immune system, and it's just to get extra greens in. Doesn't look too appetizing. Please. This picture, the only thing I remember or brings memories back is all about the board shorts. So this was in 2013 and I'd just won the Arnold Classic, the British finals. These were my lucky shorts. And all I remember is going to do my first pro show, and the commentators, when I look back, and it was all about my shorts and the fact that I didn't iron them. I always take my board shorts with me to the venue, ironed and in like a plastic bag or something. It's hung up and I'm holding them, and I'll put them on at the last minute just so then I never get stung for having creased board shorts anymore. So I've put that as a reminder. 5 minutes walking on the treadmill, simple, and then we're going to do an upper body circuit. So reasoning behind this is to try and get into a cardio state, but at the same time force blood into each muscle group. So what we do with a weighted circuit is we find 3 exercises for back, we hit them in a little mini circuit, and we do 3 sets of it. So we're going to do 20 reps, 20 reps, 20 reps. We have around 30 to 60 second rest, and then we go again and we do that 3 times. Then we move on to the next muscle part. It's quite intense, it's quite taxing on your joints, so if you ever do this type of training, it's not something you can do every day, and like I say, it does speed the metabolism up. Track on, Burning Heart, Rocky 4 against Drago. When I first start doing my cardio, so when I'm like 16 weeks out, I go nice and steady, to a point where I can still talk comfortably. I'm not getting a sweat on, but it's just doing enough output to get warm, should we say. Then as I get closer to the show, I'll start to increase the speed up to about 6.2, just to a point where it's a very fast paced walk, but we're not into a jog or a run. Then I'll look at making it even harder by inclining, which again is going to be a bit more taxing when you're walking uphill. And then if I need to, really close to the show, I'll start to do a very light jog, or I extend the time. So when I first start, it's around 15-20 minutes, 16 weeks out. Then it goes to 30 to 40 minutes, and it's 45 minutes for quite a while, and then now it's normally 60 minutes in the morning fasted. So that's the way for me of how I increase my expenditure when I'm doing my cardio. The first one we're going to do back, so we're going to do a wide grip pull down, again 20 reps. We're going to go straight into a seated closed grip row, 20 reps, and then we're going to go for a rope pullover, 20 reps. We're going to get around 30 to 60 seconds rest, and then we're going to repeat it another 2 times, so 3 times in total. Then we're going to move on to chest, shoulders, arms. So we'll do chest next. We're going to do Smith machine press. incline dumbbell press, and then we'll do cable flies. Key to full body weighted circuits, it's not to go too heavy because it's trying to keep the cardiovascular state there. So if you balls out for 10 reps, it's not good. So it's not about ego lifting, this is about getting that heart rate up because I'm out of breath, and getting those 20 reps every time. If you're not getting the 20 out, drop the weight and make sure you do. So we've hit back, hit chest, now we're going to hit shoulders. So we're going to do a press, machine press, straight into side lateral raises, straight into face pulls for rear delts. Again, 20, 20, 20, 30-second rest, 3 times. So moving on to arms now. Arms are a smaller muscle group, so I personally don't think they require 3 exercises. So we're going to superset a bicep with a tricep exercise. So EZ bar curls, superset with tricep push down on the rope. More exercise on biceps and triceps. So we're going to do tricep push down extension on the cable. Then we're going to do palms facing up, very light dumbbells, rep them out. Form doesn't have to be great on here. I'm not saying swing it or anything like that, but I'm just saying get that mind to muscle connection, and it's just more pulsating rather than full serious reps. Okay. We're 5 weeks out, so it's around this time I start to practice my posing. I introduce isotension, which I'm going to show you all about, and yeah, just doing some obviously status updates, see where we're at, and a lot of it's by eye, obviously looking in the mirror. I'm very flat, depleted, because it's first thing in the morning, fasted, so I'm not going to be popping and all that, but it's just to see where we're at fat wise, and then obviously we coincide that with a weigh-in and then caliper readings. Now we're 5 weeks out from the Olympia. This is when I start to introduce what I just mentioned earlier, is isotension and just a bit of posing practice. It's just trying to get a feel for tensing your muscles, getting control of your muscles again, because obviously I've had 6 months out of training and all that kind of stuff, so I'm trying to get back into it. And the key to being like natural on stage and being as comfortable as possible and making it look effortless is basically isotension, keeping control over your abs, learning how to breathe through your abs, things like that. And obviously tensing, the more you tense, the harder you'll get, and that's how I've always seen myself the more conditioned I get is from the more I tense and the more I It's quite taxing as well, especially when you're flat and you've got no ready available fuel breakfast in you. Oh, you can see I'm really out of breath. I haven't done that for a while. What I do for my midsection, which I don't really tell a lot of people about, and I've never showed anyone on the previous preps, but this is what I do normally. So after near enough every session now, that's what we do. Inhale up and then crunch out. Hold for 3 seconds. So you do that 20 times if possible. Work your way up to do 10 reps and then up to 20. Then we go for our obliques. Again, 20 reps if possible. 20 reps. You get 30 seconds to a minute rest. You try and repeat that 3 times. I guarantee you'll be absolutely knackered. It'll really swell your midsection up, and it's just getting again that mind to muscle connection. I know I always say it, but it's really important, especially when you're posing. It's really important to understand your body, how it's firing up and keeping that control. I know it looks vain or whatever, but you have to have your top off when you're doing this, because you need to, it's very easy to cheat. It's very easy to go, look, I'm tensing my abs now, but I can talk to you guys, I can explain things, but that's not what it's about. You've got to exhale all your air out, crunch as hard as you can for 3 seconds, then repeat it again. It's very easy to cheat, so it's important to be able to watch yourself and really concentrate on every single rep. So before I eat, obviously I've just done my fasted circuit, before I eat I want to just get a feel for what I weigh. I should be at this stage around 198. We have photo shooted the last 2 days with Gymshark and I have missed meals. Especially training today, I felt flat and depleted and a bit on the stringy side. But we're going to see where we're at and then maybe have a carb up this weekend. You're at your truest weight first thing in the morning, so I would do this before I've had breakfast. 198, 198.2. So we are really where we should be. I've dropped just under 2 pounds in the last 8 days, 9 days, and I always aim for around the 1 pound a week mark. So 198, I normally go on stage around the 190 mark, so about 8 pounds off. In kg, that's around 3.5, 4 kg. So yeah, 5 weeks to go. It's all about now is trying to maintain as much muscle while chipping away at that last few pounds of fat. So I'm going to talk you through my breakfast whilst on prep. I normally start my prep around 120 grams of oats. We're now down to 100 grams 5 weeks out, which is around 60 grams of carbs. That is my carb intake. I know there's fats in there, but I just class that as my complex carbs for this meal. We've got blueberries there, which is an antioxidant, and I have around 30 grams, which again is an extra 10 grams in carbs. We've got almonds, flaked almonds. That's my essential fats. I go for 20 grams in weight, and I think that's 10 grams in fat. The USN Blue Lab Whey. That is a fast-acting whey protein, an isolate, hydrolysate and whey concentrate blend. It's very low in carbs. I've got Rocky moaning, what's up with you? As you can see, there's a good balance of carbs, protein, fats, and it's quite a high calorie meal, but obviously it's the first meal of the day, especially if you've done a full body circuit. It's great, fast acting protein, get that back in. Huge fuel sources for the rest of the day. So I'm going to go for 100 grams. So I've got my cooked oats now. We put 30 grams, don't have to be frozen berries, you can have fresh. Go for 20 grams of almonds. So I'm going to have the caramel chocolate. I go for 2 scoops. Some people might think that's a bit excessive. It's around 50 grams with 2 scoops. But I always have done that, and I'd rather have a little bit more than a little bit less. Good technique now. And there you have it. King of breakfasts. So we've got my USN order. I've got the Blue Lab Whey, just in a few different flavours. Again, that's a whey concentrate, hydrolysate and isolate blend, very low in carbs, less than 2 grams of sugar per 25 grams of protein. High BCAA profile, got whey teller, which is my favourite flavour, and chocolate caramel, which I had this morning. BCAA Power Punch, or the BCAA Amino Grow, what I normally take pre and post. At the minute they are out of stock with the Amino Grow. I prefer the Amino Grow, but this is one of the first supplements I ever took. This is an old product from USN. 10 years I've been with USN, and this was one of the first products I ever took. So yeah, that's great for obviously preventing fatigue whilst you're training, and protecting the muscle also, and helping with recovery. All my food and nutrition is key, and then supplementation is there just to aid and push you through those boundaries. So this is mainly just around training and first thing in the morning, purely for the absorption rate. So yeah, nice and simple, not overcomplicating it, not too many tablets, sorted. I have a multivit, my super greens, what you've seen, BCAA and whey protein.
We've been driving around, singing songs way too loud because
360 crystals I had to put in there. That took me 7 hours, and 7 hours of my life I'll never get back. But I dare say it was worth it. Yeah, still not sure about this feature wall. Not too convinced on it. In my head, I thought it was going to look a lot better than it does. But it's Condine flooring, which I put on the wall as the feature wall, but I'm not convinced. Amy likes it. I think it's going to have to come off. But this is the cinema room. That looks like a goldfish bowl, but it's not. It's a fire. And then we've got a big cinema screen going in here. So this is the kitchen. I think the last time we came it was very different. Yeah, it's coming on quite nicely now. I'd say probably like 3 weeks off, 4 weeks off from completing. So everything's in. We just need to proper decorate and clean up, and yeah, get some carpets in. But this thing, check this out. Shutting. That was courtesy of Noel Mack, that was. He told me to do this, so thanks for that, mate. The feature of the house, and it's something I had to bite the bullet on. Amy wasn't too sure. Obviously the costing of a solid oak staircase with glass in it is quite expensive, but I do think it was worth it, and I think Amy does now. We, myself and the joiner fitted this last week, and there's some weight in these glass panels. But, as you can see, it's 2-storied up. So this is going to be the walk-in wardrobe. It's all done, complete, just need some carpet. Amy's claiming this as hers, or as her. Wow. So this is where I'll do my posing. This is the best part. This is what I absolutely love. Check that out. So this is supposed to be the spare room, but Amy seems to think it's going to be the nursery. Not yet, so don't get too carried away. There's nothing happened there. But she's wanting this to be the future nursery when we start trying for a family. But I've got to win that Olympia first. Let's move on before we start. So this is the master room. This is where all the magic happens. Check this out. This is was one of my inventions. We still need to, it needs to be hardwired, but check that out. Amy thinks it was a bit excessive, and it probably is, but it looks cool, doesn't it?
I think it looks spot on.
En suite, which we finished the other day. Come in. Still need to paint the ceiling here, actually, I forgot about that. My bad. Check this render out. That looks cool, doesn't it? That does look cool.
And that's going around the front as well.
That's going to go around the front on either side of the porch,
Yeah.
and on the side of the house. I didn't want to. I'm not a massive fan of render. I must admit, I like seeing brickwork, but because it was like a 1970s house and it had been patched in over the years, it didn't look good. So this is just cleaner, more modern. So we're going on to the guest floor now. This was originally going to be my man cave, but Amy got her own way and we had to have it as the guest floor. Guest room 1. Very like basic and plain, like their colouring, but I absolutely love this colour. It's not quite white, it's called ammonite. Room 2, slightly smaller, but still decent sized double room. Again, for its guests, family, people like that, I might let you stay here all the time.
Thanks.
And this is this can be the wet room, quite a tight wet room, but can you imagine having a shower? How good's that? That's my humble abode. So at current, we are 5 weeks out from the Olympia. I'm on 6 meals a day. The first meal will be post-fasted cardio workout, which will be 100 grams of oats, which is 60 grams carbs, 30 grams blueberries, so that's around 10 grams of carbs and antioxidants. We go for 20 grams of flaked almonds, so that's around 10 grams of essential fats, and whey protein, 2 scoops of that, which is 50 grams of protein. We then move on to meal 2, which is 4 eggs. That's around 28 to 30 grams of protein, with 20 grams of fat in that. 150 grams of rice, which is around 40 grams of carbs, and mixed vegetables. We'll then move on to meal 3, which is 200 grams of chicken breast, which is equivalent to about 50 grams of protein. I tend to stick to white basmati rice, so I like that my body digests it well, so I stick to that mainly throughout the day. So 150 grams of rice again, which is equivalent to 40 grams of carbs with mixed vegetables. I'll repeat meal 3 with meal 4, and then we'll go into meal 5, which will be 150 gram steak, which I think is around 20 grams of fat, and we have white potato, 200 to 250 grams depending where we're at and what my body's saying, of white potato with asparagus for a natural diuretic, because obviously in the day as well I'm trying to consume 5 to 6 litres of water, and just keeping that flowing. And then the 6th meal just before bed will be 140 grams salmon, which is around 25 grams protein and 15 grams of fat, with sweet potato, around 250 grams of sweet potato. And also on training days I'll have 50 grams of cyclic dextrin or Vitago pre-workout inside my BCAA drink. I'll sip on 50 grams whilst I'm training also, and I'll have 100 grams post-workout. So there's 200 grams of liquid carbs around training. So when you're trying to bulk, it's a good tip for you to get the calories in. And if you're a hard eater and you struggle to eat, that's a great way of getting calories in. I'll then reduce that as I get closer to a show. So at present, 5 weeks out, I'm on 20 grams of Vitago or cyclic dextrin pre-workout, 20 grams during, and I'll take 50 grams after training. As I get closer to the show, again, that's going to reduce, and I'll also have 2 scoops of whey protein post-workout, which is around 50 grams. That will always stay the same right up to show day. Right, so that's it guys. Thank you for watching my 3rd Olympia episode. Hope you've enjoyed and taken a few things from it. As you could see, it was quite a packed day, obviously showing you my morning routine, showing you nutrition wise what I'm taking currently at 5 weeks out. and plenty more. House update, which a lot of you have been asking for, so hopefully that'll keep you at bay for a few more weeks. We should be in the house, I'd say 2 to 3 weeks from now, so we'll do a final update then. And yeah, thank you for watching, really do appreciate it. Please comment below and subscribe to the channel. Obviously we're going to be trying to get out constant content on my channel, so if there's anything specific you want to see, make sure you write them in and I'll do my very best to accommodate. Alright guys, thanks again for watching, take care.